Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Fully Loaded Wrestling. Welcome back. We are just going to dive right into the action with our first contest of the evening. We have Wade Ilson currently making his entrance to the ring, and he is going to be taking on Dakota Fall. These two have been going at it on social media for the past few weeks, and it's about to come to a head, at least in FLW here. These two are no strangers to each other. They have gone against each other more than once, both in Art Pro, in NAPW, and it's only just going to build from there. If you are new here, my name is Valkyrie. I am your commentary savant for the evening and for probably the rest of the Fully Loaded Wrestling episodes. But let's get into the action here as Wade Ilson awaits his opponent. And here he is, Dakota Fall. Dakota Fall has a decent record here in FLW, and Wade Ilson has an impressive record here in FLW, only suffering one loss. Right now, Dakota is looking to make this Wade Ilson's second loss in a row. For all we know, this could come true for the competitors. I do believe, though, that Wade Ilson is not going to let that happen. He is not going to go two matches in a row that he loses, but if Dakota has anything to say about it, he is going to make that happen. So we are just going to have to wait and find out, see which competitor wants this win more. At this point, it's not just about making a name for yourself in FLW. Their names are already made. It's not just about getting the win. No, it's about shutting the other competitor down, getting them to shut their mouth and walk home with bragging rights. As we get set here tonight, waiting on the bell to ring. Here you see Wade Ilson, got Dakota Fall here, and here we go. And right off the bat, Dakota is just going high speed and then slowing it down, trying to get some grappling in, but Wade Ilson seems to be a master at this game. He is not going to let Dakota Fall outshine him when it comes to grappling. Dakota struggling a bit against Ilson here. And turning it around on Ilson. Impressive by Dakota Fall. Can he keep the momentum going in his favor? And it seems like he's looking to keep it in his favor. Dakota, tripping Ilson onto the mat and just adding insult to injury with that taunt right there. And Dakota looking to keep it high octane, but missing once again. Ilson moving out of the way of that one. And Ilson just looking to punish Dakota, but Dakota got out of the way, and once again going back to the grappling. Who's going to get the upper hand with this one? Ilson getting the upper hand for this round of grappling. And Dakota throwing him out, going high octane once again, getting some offense in. Going for Dakota silence. But Ilson not going to be one to tap out. And Ilson, getting reversed by Dakota is what's going on. These two know each other so well from their previous battles. Good Lord. These two are just leaving it all in the ring right now. And the match has just started. Dakota getting the better of Ilson in this grappling session, turning it into a side headlock. And And the referee, she's just in there trying to keep the peace. And Ilsen grabbing from behind. And Dakota flipping Ilsen out of it, going into a headlock on the mat. What's Ilsen thinking here? Wrenching that headlock. And knee to the back of Ilsen. These two are showing why exactly they belong in an FLW ring or just in a wrestling ring in general. Now, insult to injury with just those mocking kicks by Ilsen to Dakota. And what's Ilsen thinking here? Oh, and the huge brain buster to Dakota fall. Ilsen going for the cover. 1, 2. No, not even a 2. Not even a 2. And Ilsen not happy about that, just pounding Dakota on the mat and beckoning him up. What's Ilsen looking for? Oh, and they're about to go back and forth. These two, it's obvious these two do not like each other. And Ilsen firing back. Dakota with his own. These two have no love lost against one another. And Dakota getting the better of that exchange. Dakota calling for Ilsen to get onto his feet. And a huge springboard drop kick from Dakota Fall takes down Wade Ilsen. And goes to the top rope. What is he thinking? That was a beautiful shooting star splash. But it wasn't enough to get the job done as Ilsen gets the kick out, the shoulder up at 2. Dakota getting reversed by Ilsen, but Dakota reversing right back. These two know each other so well at this point. What's Dakota looking for here? Taking Wade Ilsen, putting him up against the ropes, and just choking him against the middle rope with the modified Bronco Buster. And a shooting star splash to Ilsen one more time. These two. Oh, what's Ilsen with the Blue Thunder Bomb. And Ilsen calling Dakota to his feet. Ilsen hitting the pedigree. 1, 2, and Dakota gets the shoulder up at 2. But Ilsen, his confidence is at an all-time high right now. But Dakota fighting out of Ilsen's grip here. Went for the meteor, but Ilsen moves out of the way. Throwing Dakota to the ropes. And hitting a bridging German suplex. Dakota trying to mount an offense against Ilsen here. And a swinging neck breaker followed by a not necessarily moonsault to Ilsen. And a BME to Ilsen. 1, 2, and Ilsen kicks out at 2. Ladies and gentlemen, this is just the first of 8 incredible matches we have here for you tonight. Still to come tonight, we have Big Bubba Perkins versus Kyle Young. We also have the debut of Jessica Harper taking on John Baker II. But not to forget, as Dakota goes for the cover, 1, 2, only a 2 for Dakota. Not to forget, we also have Angelina Renee taking on Maya Lynx in our main event here tonight to see who can prove it better that they are the face of the women's division here in FLW. That match is sure to be both egotistical and hard-hitting at the same time. As Dakota went for an attack in the corner, but Ilson turning Dakota inside out with the clothesline. And Ilson, what's he going for? Whatever he was looking for, a springboard senton it looked like, did not connect. He was too far away from Dakota for it to land. And Dakota once again going for a meteor, Wade rolling away from it. And here we go. Wade calling Dakota to his feet and hitting a huge crossbody splash against Dakota. In addition to the matches I had announced just a moment ago, with Wade going for the dirty pin, the ref, the ropes, the feet. The ref doing her job and calling out Wade for trying to use the ropes for an easy victory. But in addition to the match I just spoken about, we also have a couple of stars having a word here with us later tonight. One of them being the newly debuted Adam Fowler, who got a victory over Samantha Salizer last week, as well as everybody's war machine, Lucky Carnage, who, as I know it, is not very happy with his current place in FLW and looks to make a difference. As Dakota fights out of an apparent brainbuster on the turnbuckle from Wade Ilson, but Wade hitting a huge German suplex on Dakota Fall. As Wade now just again adding insult to injury with the boots to the face. And Dakota trying to fight back into it, going for the cover. 1, 2, and Ilson gets the shoulder up at 2. And Dakota again fighting back into it, trying to mount an offensive. Went for a Spanish fly, but Ilson reverses it into a hip toss. What's Ilson looking for here? Calling Dakota up to his feet. Is he looking for another crossbody? Oh no, a huge drop kick to Dakota Fall. And Wade Ilson looking for a way to end this. A huge basement drop kick. Ladies and gentlemen, this is just our opening contest as Dakota gets dumped out of the ring and a huge top rope senton, and you can hear the crowd chanting, "This is awesome." It indeed is. Again, this is just our opening contest. We have 7 more matches to go after this, with a moon stomp from Dakota Fall. It's anybody's guess as to how this one will end, but in any case, the winners of this match will actually be the fans because of how electric they are tonight. With the diving hammer, Ilson gets his shoulder up at 1. Dakota Fall not getting the best of that pin. What's Dakota looking for? Was that a 630 splash? Or 630 moonsault? That was incredible air that Dakota Fall got on that. And the crowd, obviously, you can hear them chanting one more time. And Dakota hitting a code red to the outside of the ring. That cannot have been good for Wade Ilson's back. And what's Dakota looking for? And Wade needs to find his way back into this match because Dakota is on a roll right now. Remember here, ladies and gentlemen, here in FLW, the competitors have until a count of 20 to get back into the ring. And again, Dakota just giving Wade Ilson the business. Dakota Fall is on fire here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And we can only assume that it's going to get better for Dakota here in a second. Wade Ilson struggling for a moment right now, but he's back in the ring, getting hit by a meteor from Dakota. Dakota calling him up to his feet. What's Dakota looking for? Oh, Wade Ilson able to roll out of the way. What's Ilson looking for? Is he looking for that brainbuster again? And Dakota once again reversing it. And Dakota getting hit with that bridging German suplex again. What's Wade Ilson looking for right now? What's he looking for? And gets hit with the spear. 1, 2. Oh, that was a 2. And what's Ilson thinking now? He needs to figure something out. He needs to figure something out before Dakota can mount a comeback. And what's Ilson thinking? Powerbomb, big powerbomb, and a crossbody splash. Could this be the beginning of the end for Dakota Fall? And went for a springboard swanton. Did not make it. And once again, Dakota with a swinging neck breaker, followed by that handstand moonsault. That was a 1, kicking out at 1. And Dakota sending Wade Ilson crashing into the corner. Was he looking for? The fall from grace? No, he's looking for that 630 splash, I think it was. 2, 3, and Dakota picks up the big victory over Wade Ilson here tonight. Again, that was just the first contest of the evening, with Dakota Fall picking up the victory in this hard-fought contest. As you can see in these replays, these two left it all out there in the ring. Both men have nothing to be ashamed of in that match. However, the production team does have a lot to be ashamed of with all these glitches happening in the production truck. As we see Dakota Fall making his statement known here in FLW. Now we can only wonder what's going to be next for both Dakota Fall and Wade Ilson here in FLW. Where does Wade Ilson go from here? Because this is unfortunately a second loss in a row for Wade Ilson. You've got to be thinking that he's not happy with this current second loss in a row. Something has got to give for him. We'll find out what, as Dakota celebrates his victory here tonight in FLW. Next up, we have our first intergender match of the evening, Dakota Willer versus Max Drayton. Let's see who comes out on top here tonight. Here we get started with our next match of the evening. Like I said, this is Dakota Fall. No, we just saw Dakota Fall have a big victory over Wade Ilson. No, this is Dakota Wheeler taking on Max Drayton here tonight. Now Max, he has a very decent record here in FLW. And Dakota Wheeler also has an impressive record here in FLW. If I'm remembering correctly, she may only have one loss here as of this evening, and is looking to put another check in the win column and not the loss column. But I do know that Max Drayton, being the deathmatch prince, is going to be looking to capitalize his momentum in his victory over Justin Payne last episode. But the question is, will he be able to overcome the dominance that Dakota Wheeler brings to the table? We're just going to have to watch and find out as Dakota Wheeler finishes up making her entrance, as we now await for the Deathmatch Prince, Max Drayton. And here he comes, and it looks like he is ready to go here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Max Drayton, again, coming off of a huge win over Justin Payne last week. It was a hard-fought match between both men, but Max Drayton was the one who was able to come out on top, and he's showing the crowd just how pumped up he is for this match. These two ready to go at it, and here we go. And Dakota, right off the bat, showing the dominance she brings here to FLW, automatically getting Drayton down to the mat and just unloading on Drayton. This is what makes Dakota Wheeler so dangerous. She has an immense and intense moveset and can go from 0 to 100 within a blink of an eye. Now these two going at it with a grappling session here, and Dakota getting flipped by Max to the mat, and Dakota finding her way out of it into an arm lock, wrenching the arm behind Max Drayton. Dakota Wheeler is not someone you want to underestimate. The moment you underestimate Dakota Wheeler, that's when everything starts to go downhill. With that, I will say, if Max Drayton can focus and not get ahead of himself, if he can just focus, he might be able to score the victory over Dakota. But once again, Dakota is dangerous, so you have to keep an eye on her at all times. Dakota is showing right now why she's so dangerous, how she's so dangerous. Getting the better of Max Drayton in that grappling session, going right into another one. But Drayton pushing her to the ropes, pushing Dakota to the ropes. And Drayton, was beginning to capitalize on the moment there, but Dakota swung it right back into her favor with a running Meteora into the corner, going for the cover, and not even a one. Could argue that the ref took too much time with Dakota hitting a huge dropkick. The ref could have taken too much time there to try and get into position. The ref needs to do a bit of a better job in that regard. but a huge drop kick from Dakota to Max Drayton, drops Drayton to the mat. Dakota, what's she going for? A big moonsault from Dakota Wheeler. 1, 2, and it's only a 1. It's only a 1 from the referee here. And what's Dakota going for here? And just stomping on Max Drayton, shoving him to the ground. And Dakota hitting a corkscrew, I do believe, leg screw. Dakota calling him up to his feet, and a big, I don't even know what to call that. But now Dakota Wheeler on top of Max Drayton with a questionable motive before headbutting Max Drayton several times. And now Dakota Wheeler with a huge cutter to Max Drayton. 1, 2, and Dakota doesn't get it. Max kicks out at 2. What's Dakota looking for right here now? Oh, what was she looking for here? Oh, Max Drayton going for the pin. 1, and it's only a 1. Max Drayton seems to be trying to get back into it. Went for a back fist. And Dakota seemed to be looking for a signature, but Max blocked it. And Max starting to show some signs of life, but Dakota right back into the match. Again, this is why Dakota is so dangerous. You can't let up even for a second if you hope to win against her. And running bulldog out of the corner from Dakota Wheeler to Max Drayton. And Dakota seemed to be looking for a submission. Max getting out of it, and now Max again showing signs of life. But again, Max, you can't let off the gas. You can't let off the trigger. And hitting a huge running neck breaker on Dakota. And it seems Max is finally able to find some semblance of fight in this match, getting quite a bit of offense in here now. And just getting hit with an enziguri, getting kicked off of the ring apron. And flying high, but nobody home as Dakota Wheeler got out of the way. And Dakota Wheeler going for a dragon sleeper. And Max Drayton just fighting out of it with a couple of knees to the face. And Max, what's he looking for here? And the huge suplex brainbuster there, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, it's looking like Max is finally finding some success in this match. If he keeps this up, he may be able to pull off a victory over Dakota Wheeler, but Dakota pulling the match back into her. Oh, wait a second. Drayton drops behind Dakota, but Dakota again fights out of his grip. What's Dakota thinking about here? Whatever it was. And a huge spinning back fist from Max Drayton. But again, Dakota taking the fight back. Again, this is what makes Dakota so dangerous. What's she going for? A huge corkscrew, 630 corkscrew splash. And Dakota couldn't quite get the full pin as Max kicked out at 2. And Max going for some sort of pin, not really doing much. And it shows as Dakota only kicks out at 1. And what's Max looking for here? Picking up Dakota. These two are leaving it all in the ring right now. Although it's clear that Dakota is the one who has the advantage as of right now. She has been the one who has the most offense here in the match. it seems like whenever Max Drayton seems to be getting on a roll, Dakota Wheeler seems to be having an answer for everything. But what's this? Kamigoye to Dakota Wheeler. That could be it. 1, 2, and Dakota Wheeler kicks out at 2. Max Drayton going to need to do a bit more to try and get the job done here tonight. And just wrenching on the leg here. Like I said, Max can't afford to let off the gas or else something like that will happen and Dakota Wheeler would take back the match. And Dakota just stomping on the shoulder there. And what's Dakota looking for here? And rolling Drayton around. Oh, that couldn't have been pleasant to be feeling. And going for that big moonsault again, but nobody home as Max rolls out of the way. Max, you can't waste any time here. If you're looking to win, you cannot waste time against Dakota Wheeler. She will take any and all advantage. But Dakota finding herself on the wrong side of a Max Drayton offensive here. And Max Drayton just trying to put Dakota down for the count. Let's see if he can keep on this momentum. And then going to the top rope, what's he looking for here? And went for a huge drop kick, but no one home, and gets right back into it. Dakota Wheeler on the back pedal now. A huge drop kick to her back, and Max Drayton just running and hitting a running face wash to Dakota Wheeler. Seems Dakota is in trouble here. 1, 2, and Dakota kicks out at 2. Don't let off the gas, Max. That's how she gets back into the game. Dakota rising up to her feet, and Max hitting a huge crossbody to Dakota Wheeler. Once again, 1, 2, and Dakota Wheeler kicks out at 2. This has been an amazing match so far, and we still have 6 more to go. And that huge lariat turns Dakota Wheeler inside out, and looks like one more time, Kamigoye, and Dakota Wheeler, 1, 2, and Dakota Wheeler kicks out at 2. Max is throwing everything he can at her, and nothing seems to be sticking. Dakota Wheeler with the face buster. Still to come here tonight, we have several matches here as Max Drayton hits a big senton splash. But we have a rematch between Becca Blore and Piper Salizer. We also have the debut of Mad Dog Salmons taking on Brie George here tonight as Dakota Wheeler looking for something here. What's Dakota looking for? Whipping him to the ropes. And Dakota fighting her way back into this, hitting a twist of fate on Drayton. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 from Drayton. What's left for her to do? Is she going for it again? That 630 corkscrew splash. 1, 2, 3, and Dakota Wheeler picks up the victory here tonight over Max Drayton in what was a very impressive match. Max Drayton has nothing to be ashamed of when it comes to this match, as it was a very hard-fought match, but Dakota seemed to be always for most of the match, 2 steps ahead of Max Drayton. As we see here tonight, Drayton did get some really good offense in, but unfortunately, Dakota Wheeler proved to be just a bit too strong, not for him tonight. As we watch the replays here tonight. But also remember, this is just our second match of the evening. We also have to come Kyle Young versus Big Bubba Perkins, who are no strangers to each other. We also have Mad Dog Salmons taking on Brie George. And then let's not forget our main event, Angelina Renee taking on Maya Lynx, both trying to prove that they are the face of the women's division here in FLW. As Dakota Wheeler takes a minute to celebrate her victory here in the ring over Max Drayton. Up next, we have Big Bubba Perkins taking on Kyle Young in what's sure to be a hard-hitting match. Stay tuned. And we are back here, ladies and gentlemen, this evening with our third bout of the evening. We have the prize bull, Bubba Perkins, Big Bubba Perkins, on his way to the ring here now, taking on, for a second time, the Second City Soldier, Kyle Young. Now, as I've mentioned, this is not the first time that Bubba Perkins and Kyle Young have met in the ring. The last time, I do believe that they met in the ring here in FLW, it was Kyle Young that walked away with the victory that night, ladies and gentlemen. So now we're going to have to see if Bubba Perkins has remade his game plan so that way he can walk away with the W here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. But it's not like Bubba Perkins hasn't been slouching. He has been doing work all over the globe here recently. Won a couple promotions, namely Art Pro and Supremacy Wrestling. As we get set here for our bout, we are gearing up for the return for Kyle Young, and here he is. The crowd is going wild for Kyle Young, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's safe to say who exactly is the favorite of the night for this match. Now, yet again, I have to stress that this is not the first time that these two have met in the FLW ring. It's not even the first time they've met in general. Back a few months ago at GTT's Siege of the Triumvirate, it was Southern Discomfort versus both Kyle Young and Chase Adkins. And I do believe that Kyle and Chase were the ones that walked away with the victory. But in singles competition, right now here in FLW, Bubba Perkins is 0-1 against Kyle Young. And he will be looking to even out that score. Let's see if Bubba Perkins is actually able to even up that score. And the crowd showing their affection for Kyle Young as Bubba Perkins gets ready in the background here, ladies and gentlemen. And here we have Bubba Perkins in one corner, Kyle Young in the other corner. And here we go. And right off the bat, Kyle Young with a huge drop kick. He's looking to make it 2-0 against Bubba Perkins, making Bubba Perkins go 0-2 against him. Will that happen? We'll just have to see. But this is sure to be one thing. This is sure to be a heavy, hard-hitting match between the two big men right here. And I wonder what Kyle's thinking here. Just a kick to the chest. And Kyle just basking in the adoration of the FLW audience. And the two locking up here today. And Kyle pushing Bubba into the corner. Bubba's got to regroup. Oh, and a dirty kick to the groin. And Kyle not taking kindly to that. And once again, locking up once again. And now it's Bubba who has the advantage this time. And once again, a cheap shot to Kyle Young. Bubba Perkins does not like Kyle Young. There have been several times where he and his tag team partner, Lucky Carnage, have called both Chase Adkins and Kyle Young, where they've called them the Timu TMDK from New Japan Pro Wrestling. And now Bubba with a huge swing neck breaker to Kyle Young here. And now Bubba filling it real quite nicely. And snake eyes onto the turnbuckle. And Bubba keeping the gas on the pedal. And Kyle fighting his way back into it. Kyle has never been one to give up so easily. And he is showing that here right now. And Bubba now just snapping the leg in the figure four. And just adding insult to injury with these mocking kicks to Kyle Young. And Bubba taking the offensive to the corner here. But Kyle pushing Bubba away and flipping him to the mat right there. And Bubba fighting his way out of that with a huge spinning, jumping roundhouse kick. And a huge elbow drop from the middle rope. These two, they're showing that they've gone at each other several times. They know each other pretty well at this point. And Kyle going for the cover. One. And just the one. Bubba gets the shoulder up. And Kyle calling Bubba up, but Bubba caught him into a power bomb. One. And Kyle kicks out, gets the shoulder up at one. And these two going counter for counter here, ladies and gentlemen. And Kyle leaning Bubba against the ropes and just hammering away on him, but Bubba fighting out, answering back. And Kyle calling Bubba to his feet. What's Kyle thinking? And a huge leg drop to the back of the head. One. And just the one. Bubba gets his shoulder up. And a huge DDT to the mat. Kyle taking the bit too much time showboating during this match. Knowing Big Bubba Perkins, he can't take too much time to cater to the crowd, or else Bubba will take advantage like he just has. And Bubba with that huge pounce to Kyle Young, going for the pin. 1, 2, and Kyle gets the shoulder up at 2, ladies and gentlemen. But that's what I was saying before. Bubba is one to take advantage. If Kyle gives him too much space to breathe, Bubba will take advantage of that as he kicks out at 1. And Kyle is finally fighting his way back into this match here. And just wrenching the arm against the ropes. And Bubba starting to fight back out of it, but Kyle moving out of the way of what looked to be another pounce. And a huge lariat from Kyle Young here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And a huge crossbody splash from the top rope from Kyle Young, ladies and gentlemen. And Kyle calling Bubba up to his feet. What could Kyle have in mind here? Whatever it was, Bubba answers with a huge pounce, just launching Kyle Young and hitting another figure 4 leg snap. Bubba has not come to play. He's here to take this match and get a W in the books. He's looking to avenge his previous loss to Kyle Young and even the score 1-1. And Bubba, what's he going for here? Huge arm snap there. Bubba feeling it now. Once again, Kyle could be in trouble here, ladies and gentlemen. Bubba fighting back a Kyle Young who was trying to get back into the match. Bubba was not having it, ladies and gentlemen. And a leg drop to the leg of Kyle Young. And what's Bubba looking for here? Looking for a big move here to end it all. Oh, and Kyle reverses it, trying to fight his way back into the match. And a huge gut buster there by Kyle Young. Kyle Young going to the top rope. And a huge cross body to Bubba Perkins, pinning Bubba. 1, 2, oh, just a 1. I think the ref's count was a bit slow there, honestly. And Kyle still taking the fight to Bubba, but Bubba fighting his way back out of it. Going to the snake eyes to the top turnbuckle. And just wrenching the leg of Kyle Young here tonight. That can't be pleasant on the tendons of the leg right there. And Bubba once again hyping himself up, trying to fight his way back into this match, telling himself he's not going to be the one who loses tonight. And Bubba once again making sure that things go his way tonight here. Bubba going to the top rope. What could he have in mind? And a huge frog splash from Bubba. 1, 2, and Kyle gets the shoulder up at 2. That's got to be frustrating if you're Bubba Perkins here tonight. And going for a body splash, but Kyle moves out of the way, picking him up. What you looking for here? Kyle giving Bubba a bit too much space to breathe here. Like I said, it gave Bubba enough time to recuperate, but it seems like Kyle had his number right there. No, Kyle just unloading a series of strikes onto Bubba Perkins. And Bubba Perkins just shoving him off. And Bubba now, what you looking for? And back body drop onto the apron. The apron is legitimately the hardest part of the ring here, ladies and gentlemen. It is no secret about that. And Bubba manhandling Kyle at this point with a huge senton here tonight. And a huge figure 4 leg snap. It's clear that Bubba is trying to dismantle Kyle Young and even out the score in their 2 matches here. And Bubba with a deadlift suplex. And another. Bubba Perkins can be scary strong at sometimes. And Kyle flipping to his feet. Again, trying to fight his way back into the match. And Bubba reversing whatever Kyle had in mind here. Throwing Kyle back into the ring. What's Bubba got in mind here? Oh, and Kyle trying to mount a comeback here. Tripping the leg of Bubba Perkins. Going for the pin. And only getting a 2 count here, ladies and gentlemen. And Bubba catching Kyle Young. And 1, 2, 3. That gets the job done. Their score is now evened 1-1 here in FLW. Bubba Perkins picking up the win in their second bout here in FLW. That was a utterly fantastic match here. 2 big men going at it, which I'm sure it will not be the last of their matches between the 2 of them. Well, here's your winner by pinfall, Big Bubba Perkins. Once again, taking the victory in his second match against Kyle Young. But next up, we have a few words from Adam Fowler. Fully Loaded Wrestling. My name is Adam Fowler. I'm not here to shake hands. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to beat the best and be the best. Samantha Salazar, as hard as she fought, was just the first in line of casualties I'm going to make. I don't care who's in my way. If you are standing in my way to the top, I will put you down. Consider this a warning to the rest of the FLW roster. Again, I don't care who's in front of me, but if you're in my way, you're getting put down. Simple as that. Strong words by Adam Fowler, but we are on to our next match of the evening. Jessica Harper debuting against John Baker II. Let's see who comes out on top. And here we are. We have Jessica Harper making her debut entrance in her debut match. The wild thing is not much is known about Jessica Harper. She did accompany Alexis Danvers for a time in GTT, but other than that, nothing is truly known about this woman. So I am excited to see what she brings to the table here. And the crowd, unfortunately, kind of silent in this entrance, but at the same time, again, not really a lot is known about Jessica Harper, only the fact that she's making her debut here tonight against John Baker. Now, we all know John Baker is a phenomenal talent, and he strives on being this protagonist and strives on giving 100%. But what do you get when you do not know anything about your opponent? We are about to find out as John Baker is making his entrance here now. And the crowd showing their adoration for the protagonist of professional wrestling, the protagonist of FLW, John Baker II. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Making his way to the ring. John Baker has been through a lot in his wrestling career, but he's looking to put another check in the win column to build up his standing here in FLW. John Baker, again, being showered by adoration from the crowd and reveling in that adoration, pumping up the crowd. He's ready to go. You can clearly see that he is ready for this match. We will have to see how John Baker does against this new competitor, which he knows nothing about. And here we go. And Jessica starting off on the offensive here with several kicks and a body slam. Jessica is showing she's not here to play. And the two locking up here in FLW. We'll have to see who gets the upper hand, but right now it's looking like Jessica got the initial upper hand, but now John Baker flipping her to the mat and doing a side headlock takeover. And Jessica switching it to a leg lock, squeezing and Jessica getting the better of that exchange here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Even though she is a new debut, she is quickly showing that she is not someone to be taken lightly. And locking up once again. John pushing pushing Jessica back to the ropes, and the referee breaking it up. And once again, Jessica locking up with John Baker. And John again pushing Harper back. And John quickly realizing he's going to have to step it up against this new debut in Jessica Harper. And Jessica on the receiving end of a hurricanrana, but rolling out of the way of a springboard moonsault. And John hyping himself up here. And John hitting another hurricanrana. And Jessica showing that she's no newbie. She has to have been training with someone to be on par with the likes of John Baker. For all we know, John Baker could have been the one training her, or even Alexis Danvers could be the one who was training her. But right now we know that Jessica Harper is no slouch. She knows what she's doing. But as she gets on the receiving end of John Baker's comeback attacks. John Baker calling Jessica up to her feet here. And a huge springboard Dragon Rana. And what's John looking for here? A running knee. And Jessica moves out of the way of it. And John with the huge moonstop to Jessica Harper. Once again, Jessica showing that she's no slouch when it comes to in-ring work. She had to have been training for a long time as John Baker hits a springboard roundhouse kick along with the springboard moonsault, getting all of that, it seems. And now John calling Jessica up to her feet with a huge drop kick here tonight. Once again, John going for something. Is he going for that bicycle knee kick again? He does, and he hits it. But Jessica back up to her feet. What's John thinking of? I do believe that's a new move in John's arsenal. Going for the pin. 1, 2, and Jessica kicks out at 2. And a huge springboard shooting star press. 1, 2, and Jessica gets the shoulder up at 2. Once again, Jessica is showing that she does know the meaning of the word grit as she takes the fight to John Baker. And John now hitting a powerbomb on the outside of the ring. John calling her to her feet. And Jessica moves out of the way. A reminder, ladies and gentlemen, that the competitors have until a count of 20 here in FLW to get back into the ring before they get counted out. And ladies and gentlemen, as these two continue to go at it with the huge shooting star press that gets blocked by Jessica. We still have several matches here left tonight. We have Brie George taking on Mad Dog Salmons, and we also have Alan Wagner, El Jefe Alan Wagner, taking on the star Miles King in a huge matchup here tonight. But not only that, we also have the rematch between Becca Blore and Piper Salizer, with Piper hoping to get some retribution against the controversial finish to their last match. And not to mention, we have our main event of the evening, Angelina Renee taking on Maya Lynx, to see whose claim for the face of the women's division can be backed up by more. It's still a huge stacked cards here, ladies and gentlemen, so don't go anywhere. We've still got so much more to go, as Jessica taking the fight to John Baker once again, slamming him into the hardest part of the ring, the apron. And Jessica going for a big move here. And that seems to be one of her signatures. We have not been given any notes as to what the names of her signatures and finishers are, but we know that she has been working on them and been trying to perfect them recently. John was a little off-center for that springboard roundhouse, and Jessica takes advantage. Once again, she is showing that she is no slouch. She seems to be a student of the game, calling John to his knees, but John seemed to have dodged the knee that she was going for, and the two starting to trade blows here late in the match here. And Jessica Harper getting the best of that exchange. And the ref getting a bit in the way. The ref has to do a better job at staying out of the way. Jessica seemed to have John's number, but John reversed it back into his favor, which John thinking, oh, Jessica whipping him back into the ropes himself, and John going for a basement dropkick, but does not get it. And Jessica going for a huge driver there. 1, 2, and John kicks out at 2. Jessica is taking John to his absolute limit here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. She is showing that, once again, even though this is her debut, she's not been slacking. She has been training for this very moment. And we just have to see what's next, win or lose, for Jessica Harper. With a huge diving hammer to the head of John Baker here. Just wrenching the leg of John Baker, doing a lot of damage on the outside of the ring. And Jessica on the receiving end, once again being thrown into the steel steps by John Baker. Those steel steps are unforgiving, especially to the stomach. And John hitting a huge springboard moonsault, but not finding anybody at home. Jessica going for this again, and she might be looking for the running knee one more time. And she gets it. 1, 2, 3. And Jessica hitting that running knee from the corner gets the job done. An impressive debut showing here for Jessica Harper, and an unfortunate loss by John Baker. Truth be told, though, there is no need for either one of these competitors to feel ashamed whatsoever. Both of these competitors gave it their all, including John Baker. but Jessica Harper proved that she wanted the win even more and showed off that she has been training. We will have to get clarification on who has been training her, but right now it seems obvious that whoever trained her took their time and made sure that she was ready to take on even the likes of John Baker II. And Jessica Harper is your victor here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, with a huge victory over John Baker. Again, we will have to see what is next for both of these competitors, but a bright future ahead for Jessica Harper here in FLW. But up next, we have Miles King taking on El Jefe Alan Wagner. We will have to see who comes out on top. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with yet another hard-hitting match here tonight. We have entering first El Jefe Alan Wagner, and he is about to take on the star Miles King, and this is sure to be a hard-hitting match, with Alan Wagner coming off a huge victory against Wade Ilson last week, quickly showing that he is a force to be reckoned with here in FLW, and we just have to see if his momentum will continue with a win over his opponent here tonight. And Miles King, he is no stranger to adversity, and he is known for overcoming a lot of adversity. So we'll just have to see if Alan Wagner is strong enough to keep the star down, or if the star will rise up over El Jefe and take a much-needed victory home here today. And here we go. Miles King starting to make his entrance here. And here he is, the star of professional wrestling, Miles King. And as you saw, he is the CEO of Art Pro, and he is graciously taking his time to the ring. He has given us his time of the day to be competing here in the FLW arena here tonight. And as Miles King looks around, we see mixed responses to his presence here in the FLW arena. But if Miles wants to take the win here tonight, he's going to have to block the noise and just focus on his opponent here tonight, who, again, coming off of a fresh, huge victory against Wade Ilson last week, who was on such a dominant streak before his loss against Alan Wagner. And Miles King taking his time to get to the ring. We'll just have to see if this is just something to get under the skin of Alan Wagner. or if it's just to serve his own purposes. We are about to find out. And here we have Alan Wagner in one corner, Miles King resting in the other. And here we go. And Miles King immediately going on the offensive. That's what he needs to do here, ladies and gentlemen, in order to try and get this victory over Alan Wagner. Miles taking the time to pose. What's he looking for here? Huge. Went for a springboard super kick, but Alan Wagner dodged it. Now they are locking up. And Miles pushing Alan to the ropes. Ref breaking it up. And just pushing Alan to the corner. And going for a springboard hurricanrana. And Alan Wagner fighting back. And went for a huge cutter, but no one was home. And a huge elbow drop from Alan Wagner here tonight against Miles King. And hitting a huge lariat. Miles taking the fight to Alan, showing exactly why he is the star of pro wrestling. The moment maker. And going for a huge kick, but Alan getting out of the way of that. And Miles reversing it into a DDT. And Miles off the rope, hitting a huge basement drop kick. But Alan just brushing it off, hitting a lariat like it's nothing. And a huge spine buster from Alan Wagner, going for the cover. 1, 2, and no, Miles kicks out at 2. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our 5th bout of the night. We have 3 matches left on the card. We have Mad Dog taking on Brie George. Following that, we have a rematch between Becca Blore and Piper Salizer. And then after that, we have our main event of the evening, which sees Maya Lynx take on Angelina Renee in a battle to see whose claim of being the face of the women's division can stand up more. Who can back up their claim. We are going to find out here tonight. As Alan taking the fight back to Miles King with a huge springboard crossbody. And Alan, deadlift German suplex 1, and a half and half, and another German suplex going for the pin. 1, 2, and Miles kicks out at 2. And Miles going for crossface. And Alan rolling out of it. And a huge impaler DDT to Miles King. 1, 2, and Miles kicks out at 2. And Miles taking the fight to Wagner once again. And Miles getting the better of that exchange here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. 1, 2, and Allen kicks out at 2. And hitting a huge slam. Once again, kicking out at 2 does Alan Wagner. Miles taking the time to gloat. That might cost him the match. And a huge cutter, but nobody home. Like I said, took too much time to gloat. And a huge spear from Alan Wagner, going for the pin. 1, 2, and Miles gets his shoulder up at 2. And a huge drop kick. What's Alan looking for here? And another huge drop kick against the bottom rope. And Alan Wagner calling him to his feet with the huge leg drop bulldog. And Alan, what's he looking for here? Once again, German half. And another German. Goes for the pin. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 from Miles King. Miles needs to figure out a way back into this match because Alan Wagner, it's looking to be all Alan Wagner with a huge impaler DDT. 1, 2, and another kick out at 2. Alan is showing exactly why he is a force to be reckoned with here in FLW with a huge cutter here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Going up to the middle rope. What's he looking for here? And kicking Miles King a bit back and going for that leg drop again, but no one home. Miles King moving out of the way before tossing him out to the side of the ring. And Alan not taking kindly to that. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the competitors have until a count of 20 to get back inside the ring to finish the match. If they do not meet the count of 20, they will be counted out. And a huge powerbomb on the outside of the ring here, ladies and gentlemen. And Alan, what's he looking for here? A huge elbow drop to the outside of the ring. And Alan throwing Miles back into the ring and going for the pin. 1, 2, 3. And Alan Wagner does it again, his second consecutive victory here in FLW, showing exactly why he is a force to be reckoned with here. He showed up and he showed out. Kudos to Miles King, but unfortunately, Alan Wagner proved that he wanted to win much more than Miles King. And Alan Wagner here celebrating his victory over the star Miles King, which is a much-deserved victory here tonight. But don't go anywhere, because our next match here is Mad Dog Salmons taking on Brie George in our third and final intergender bout of the night. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with some more action. We have our third and final intergender match taking place between Mad Dog Salmons, who is making his entrance here right now, going up against Brie effin' George. These two are no strangers to each other, but at the same time, I do believe that this is the first time that they've gone one-on-one inside of a ring. I could be wrong, but I do believe this is their first time meeting in the ring. So we'll just have to see who wants the victory more, as Mad Dog awaits his opponent in Brie George. And Brie George making her entrance here now. She is no stranger to the wrestling business. She is a veteran of the wrestling business. But sometimes being in the business as long as she has, people can know your game. People can study you, find weak points. This may prove to be an advantage in favor of Mad Dog Salmons. We're just going to have to wait and find out. But at the same token, Brie is no pushover. She's won many championships and has won many battles and has gone to war several times. So we're just going to have to wait and see what kind of match this is going to be for both of these competitors. Both competitors getting ready here for a substantial match between the two of them. There's Mad Dog and Brie, and here we go. And Mad Dog already on the offensive with a running knee and a springboard moonsault, and looks like he's just getting started, calling Brie to her feet and immediately going on the offensive with a powerbomb as well. It looks like Mad Dog has done his research. He's not letting Brie have any sort of breathing room, any sort of a chance. He knows that if he lets off the gas at least a little bit, Brie is going to take advantage of it like she just tried doing so, or like she's doing right now. Brie throwing him to the outside of the ring. Once again, let me remind you that the competitors have a count of 20 to get back into the ring before they are counted out. Both of these competitors have quite a bit of time to get into the ring, but both of them are intent on hurting each other on the outside as Brie throws Mad Dog into the ringside post. And Mad Dog just throwing Brie to the side while getting back into the ring for himself. Ref had a count of 7, but once again, as Mad Dog takes his time getting a breather, which is smart. As the ref actually now has to restart the count. They had until the count of 20. Now the count has restarted due to Mad Dog exiting the ring on his own volition. And Mad Dog and Brie now both back in the ring, and Brie starting to take advantage, starting to pull herself back into this match. And Brie with the beautiful moonsault with a cover, 1, and Mad Dog kicks out at 1. And Mad Dog sensed that Brie had something coming, decided to get out of it, and stiff forearm strikes to Brie George. And it's looking like Mad Dog has been doing a lot of studying of the veteran Brie George. And calling Brie to her feet. And we got a diving super kick followed by a pin. 1. And the kick out at 1 from Brie George. And Mad Dog trying to keep the control in his favor. And Mad Dog was going for something, but Brie had it scouted. So now Brie's trying to pull the match back into her favor, but Mad Dog just isn't having it. And Brie just pulling the leg of Mad Dog onto the rope, wrenching that leg. Once again, trying her best to pull the match into her favor with a running neck breaker. Mad Dog Salmons certainly seems to have heart, and that's what you need in matches like these against a veteran like Brie. And once again, Brie's going for that running neck breaker. And Brie seems to have successfully pulled the match back into her favor, but Mad Dog reversing that Irish whip into the corner. And a hard clothesline and a back elbow towards Brie George stops all of that momentum. And Brie going for that spinning back fist. Mad Dog blocking it, saw it coming. Again, doing a lot of studying on Brie George. And once again, you reap what you sow. Mad Dog now pulling the leg of Brie George on the rope as well. And now Brie George, Irish whipping him back into that corner. Running knee into that running bulldog. Going into the cover. 1, and Mad Dog kicks out at 1. After that picture perfect moonsault, 1, 2, just a 1. Mad Dog, one of the newer competitors in comparison to Brie George, showing that he has a lot of fight left in him. Brie's going to have to do a lot more if she wants to win this match. And Brie to the middle rope and hitting insult to injury. And what's Brie looking for here? Springboard, frog splash. And what do we have here? Brie pulling him to the middle of the ring. And a unique submission by Brie George here. And it looks like Mad Dog had it scouted. Went for a Superman punch. Went for a back fist. These two seem to be learning new things about each other as this match goes on, as time goes on. We're just going to have to wait and see who benefits from it more. Is it going to be Brie George or is it going to be Mad Dog? And Brie George with that springboard flipping cutter. And with that senton as well. And Mad Dog pulling, with a unique pin, 1. And it will kick out at 1. And Mad Dog has been controlling most of this match against Brie George. Brie needs to figure something out or else she's going to be shut out completely. And Brie George ducking under Mad Dog, jumping over and nearly hitting a drop kick, and a springboard Superman punch from Mad Dog puts her down. And Mad Dog going to the middle rope and beckoning Brie George up and hitting a huge Meteora off the middle rope. And Mad Dog clothesline, another clothesline, and catches a foot and hits a leg sweep. Mad Dog is feeling it now. Brie George seems to be in trouble here. Mad Dog went for the kick, but Brie dodged it, ducks under, and hits that huge dropkick she was looking for earlier. But Mad Dog not staying down, pushing Brie George away. And that Superman punch he was looking for earlier lands. 1, 2, and Brie kicks out at 2. Brie is a veteran, so she has a lot of this stamina that you need to kick out of moves like that with. And Mad Dog is going to quickly realize that he's going to need to use a lot more to actually put her away for the count. As she flips him back into the ring. And using her foot to get him up, going for that spinning back fist, and she lands it. Going to the top rope. A huge swanton bomb. 1, 2, and Mad Dog kicks out at 2. Once again, showing a lot of heart in this bout against Brie George as he pops up and hits a spear. 1, 2, and Brie again kicks out at 2. This is shaping up to be a very great finish to this match as the two start trading blows here. But don't go anywhere, folks. We have 2 more matches left on this card. Following this match, we have Becca Blore taking on Piper Salizer in a rematch from last episode, where Piper feels like she was cheated out of a definitive finish due to a roll-up by Becca Blore. And then following that, our main event of the evening is Angelina Renee taking on Maya Lynx to try and prove who is the supposed face of the FLW women's roster. And Mad Dog now taking the fight to the outside against Brie George. And throwing her back inside the ring. You can only win inside the ring. Tried to go for senton, didn't quite land it, but he didn't let that stop him. Going up to the top, and a huge double stomp to the gut of Brie George. And went for that clothesline again, but Brie George had that scouted, going for the pin. 1, 2, and Mad Dog kicks out at 2. That's something that you have to be careful about with Brie. She's a veteran, so she knows how to take advantage of any situation. And Brie now using that rope-assisted Hurricanrana, gone for clothesline, but Mad Dog had it scouted. And Mad Dog ducks under, hits the Superman punch once again, going for the pin. 1, 2, and kicks out at 2. I would argue that Brie removing the turnbuckle, so the ref would have to focus on that instead. Probably a smart move on her part, so that ref couldn't get to the count on time with the face buster to Mad Dog Salmons here. All right, Brie tried to go for a body slam, but Mad Dog reversed it into a stunning DDT. And Brie back up on her feet just like that. Once again, you can't let off the gas against a veteran such as Brie George as she lands a huge elbow drop from the middle rope. And now a springboard frog splash from Brie, once again going for the pin. 1, 2, and a kick out from Brie George, or a kick out from Mad Dog from Brie George's pin attempt. And a huge swanton, once again, going for the pin. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 again from Mad Dog. He is not letting up. Mad Dog Salmons is not letting up. And went for the spirited Brie George. Mad Dog had it scouted. And going, what's Mad Dog got in mind? And a huge lariat that turned her inside out. This is it. 1, 2, 3. And Mad Dog Salmons is your winner, defeating the veteran of Brie George here tonight. Both competitors did amazing in this match tonight, but Mad Dog Salmons was just that much hungrier for the victory than Brie George was. As Mad Dog Salmons celebrates his victory here tonight over Brie George, we have been informed that Lucky Carnage, the War Machine, has a few words he wants to say.
So, FLW, it is your War Machine, that is Carnage, right here in FLW, fully loaded wrestling, and that is what Carnage is all about, fully loaded. Now, I'm going to cut this short but sweet, but I am here not for catering, not anymore. No, I am here to go for the World Heavyweight Championship here in FLW, and no one, and I mean no one, is going to get in my way. I am not here to take part, I am here to take over. And that's not rocket science, that's just common sense. And if you don't like that, go fuck yourself.
Strong words from the War Machine here tonight on FLW, looking to make history. But first, we have our rematch between Becca Blore and Piper Salizer. And now Becca Blore is currently making her entrance for her rematch against Piper Salizer. Her last win over Piper ended in somewhat of a controversy as she won off of a roll-up that left both Piper and the fans a bit dissatisfied, as they were hoping for a definitive answer to who was better in that ring. One could argue that Becca was better in the ring at playing the mind games and using everything to her advantage. But Piper did not take kindly to the way the match ended and demanded this rematch here tonight. So we are about to find out, was it just a fluke, or is Becca going to be able to pull off yet another victory over Piper Salizer. And here she comes. Here comes Piper Salizer here tonight. I do not believe that she's going to be looking for any sportsmanship or any sort of friendship whatsoever. Not after the teasing that Becca Blore has been doing on social media, calling Piper a loser and herself the winner of this match, and saying that this match would just have the same result as the last match. Piper is here to look to prove Becca wrong and get herself back in the win column. As these two women get ready for this match, here's Becca and there's Piper. And here we go. And Piper already on the major offensive. She is not looking to make any sort of repeat mistakes like she did in the last episode. Piper having Becca's number a couple of times already in this match as we get started here, but Becca also having a bit of Piper's number, but Piper just clubbing Bo to the back, and Piper, no love lost between these two, none whatsoever. And Becca trying to goad Piper into making yet another mistake that she will regret. And going for a huge drop kick to Piper. And as Piper hits a dragon screw to the leg, I would just like to thank everybody for tuning in tonight and not to go anywhere, because we have not just this match here, but we also have our main event of the evening. We have Maya Lynx taking on Angelina Renee. Both of them believe themselves to be the rightful face of the women's division, but both of them know only one of them can be the face of the women's division here in the FLW. And not only that, if you are just now tuning in, let me run down the previous matches for you and their results. To start us off here this evening, we had Dakota Fall taking on Wade Ilson after much back and forth on social media, and Dakota Fall was able to walk away with the victory over Wade Ilson. In our second match of the evening, we had our first intergender match of the evening, which had Dakota Wheeler facing off against Max Drayton. Dakota Wheeler showed just how dangerous she is, even though Max Drayton tried and tried, just could not overcome the danger that is Dakota Wheeler, and Dakota Wheeler walked away the victor. In our third match of the evening, we had a rematch from a few episodes ago where Kyle Young takes on Big Bubba Perkins. In the last bout before this, they had Kyle Young was able to walk away with the victory, although tonight was a different story, as Big Bubba Perkins was able to walk away with the victory here tonight, putting them at an even score of 1-1. In our fourth match, we had John Baker taking on the debuting Jessica Harper. John brought all the fight that he could, but Jessica Harper, whoever trained her, did so well that she was able to win her debut match against John Baker, of all people. In our fifth match, we had Miles King, the star, the CEO of Arc Pro, taking on El Jefe, Alan Wagner. Alan Wagner was able, coming off of a huge victory over Wade Ilson last week, was able to once again put another check in the win column as he overcame the star in Miles King. In our sixth match of the evening, we had Mad Dog Salmons taking on Brie George. Mad Dog Salmons, relatively newer in comparison to the veteran that is Brie George, was able to put Brie George down for the 1, 2, 3 and take the victory of the evening. As we now head back to this match, we have Piper continuously being on the attack as Becca is struggling for the most part to try and get any sort of offense in. Irish whip to the ropes, but Piper had that scouted. Once again, not looking to make any same mistakes as she did last week. She's looking to take this victory home. But Becca had other plans, dumping her on the ropes throat first. Going for the pin, and Piper kicks out at 2. And Becca going for that knee strike, and it hits. Becca finally on the attack, finally getting some leverage, and hits a big crossbody to Piper. Picking her up. What's she looking for here? Was probably looking for the twist of fate, but Piper had it scouted. And Piper ducks under, goes over, and hits the Salizer Claymore. And Piper beckoning Becca to her feet. And Becca reversing what Piper had in mind. Piper was probably looking for that Lotus Rock. And Becca now back on the offensive with a disrespectful boot to the face. 1. And Piper kicks out at 1. Becca believes that this story is about her and not about Piper. As she goes for that huge slam right there, the riptide, 1, 2, and Piper kicks out at 2 from that what looked to be a bit of a disrespectful pin right there. And Becca continuing to be a bit disrespectful. Again, it seems no love lost is between these two. There's no love lost between these two. Becca was going for something, but Piper, again, had it scouted. Piper spends a lot of time training with both her brother and her sister. And Piper now on the top rope, beckoning Becca up to her feet, and overshot that crossbody. And Becca looking to take advantage of it. And hitting a springboard and then a hurricanrana. And Becca just stomping on the hand. And moving out of the way of the senton that Becca had and just flattening her. Piper has had this match on lockdown for most of this match. Becca has had trouble trying to mount a serious offensive against Piper Salizer. And I do believe that we now have blood. Piper Salizer was able to draw first blood from Becca Blore. And Piper just continuing to punish Becca, but Becca fighting her way back into it. As the ref watches on, hitting that huge top rope senton, going for the pin. 1, 2, and Piper kicks out at 2. These two women going to stop at nothing to try and get this victory. And Becca seems like now she's trying to get Piper to bleed for her. Another springboard head scissors, and takedown. Becca, what's she thinking here? Beckoning Piper up to her feet. And she overshoots the crossbody. And Piper, just a kick to the gut. Once again, there is no love lost between these two. And Piper reversing the Irish whip, throwing Becca to the apron. Becca fighting back and getting a drop kick for her troubles. And that huge crossbody finally lands on the outside of the ring. Once again, just a reminder that these competitors have until a count of 20 to get back in the ring before they are counted out. As Piper wrenches the legs of Becca Blore. And a huge back body drop. And just slamming Becca's head face first into the ground there. And into the corner of the steps. Becca on the ground now, Piper taking some of her time to get her breath back. Becca is having a real hard time trying to keep herself in the match right here. Up to a count of 7 here. And Becca's trying to hype herself back up. And Piper with clothesline, another clothesline, catches the leg and sweeps the other. Piper calling Becca to her feet. And Piper once again slamming Becca into the turnbuckle. Piper now in position for a powerbomb and gets that powerbomb in full. And again, getting Becca up to her feet with a springboard cutter from the middle rope. And going for the cover. 1, 2, and Becca kicks out at 2, getting his shoulder up. And you can hear the crowd chanting, "Fight forever," and it certainly might happen like that with a huge crossbody splash. 1, 2, and it was almost a 3. Becca almost lost that match right there. And Piper now just again adding insult to injury. But Becca seeming to have had enough of it. Trying to fight her way back into it with a huge running neck breaker. And a huge knee to Piper's face. What's Becca thinking here? A huge super kick to Piper. And just tossing Piper away like she's some discarded waste. And Piper not taking kindly to that, reversing that spear into a brutal DDT. And Piper adding, once again, insult to injury, hitting that knee to the face, and then, the Bulldog got reversed by Becca. And then Becca now, wherever she was going for, Piper had it scouted, but once again, Becca had Piper scouted as well as she fights out of Piper's grip. This has been a monumental match so far, and another roll-up, 1, and Piper not letting that happen again, having kicked out at 1. But Becca, she's mad now. She's wanting to win this match bad. And she looks like she's looking for another spear, and she hits it. 1, 2, and Piper kicks out. You can tell that Becca is not happy with that whatsoever. And Becca now overhand chop to Piper. And Becca's had enough of it. She's looking to end it, but no one home for that corner basement dropkick. Enziguri from Piper Salizer. And Piper bringing Becca up to her feet. Wherever she was looking for, got scouted, but Piper fought her way back out of it. What's Piper looking for now? And a running knee. Will she hit the bulldog? She does hit the bulldog. Goes up to the middle rope. Beckoning Becca up and hits that huge crossbody. Both of these women have had enough of each other. Piper wants to rectify last week, and Becca just wants to make sure that her win stays solidified. And Becca now, what does she have in mind for Piper? Looking for, looks like another riptide. That's gotta be it. 1, 2. Piper kicked out at 2. And you can see Becca not happy about that, just pounding away on Piper at this point. And just stomping away at her. Becca is not happy with this whatsoever. And Becca now calling Piper to her feet. And a huge crossbody. And Becca, once again, there's no love lost between these two. These two just want to tear each other apart at this point. And Piper reversing, getting out of that powerbomb position. And Becca just wailing away on Piper, but Piper caught the leg and gave Becca a knee for her troubles. Becca not wanting to take that lightly. Once again, folks, stay with us after this match because we do have one more match, our main event, which again is Angelina Renee taking on Piper. No, Angelina Renee taking on Maya Lynx as Piper roll up of her own. Becca kicks out at 1 and went for a senton, but no one home. But our main event, Angelina Renee taking on Maya Lynx to see who, in their mind, is the definitive face of the FLW Women's Division. As Piper just wrenching away on the legs right there. Becca fighting out of it. What does Becca have in mind? And, oh, elbows to the back, forearms to the back. And Piper reversing that Irish whip, ducking over. And I'm not exactly sure what happened there, but Piper hit the Salizer Claymore. And 1, 2, and Becca kicks out at 2. Piper calling Becca to her feet. What she got in mind? Could she be looking for that Lotus Lock? And here it is, the Lotus Lock. Alright. She let it go for some reason, but diving hammer. And Piper, she goes for the cover. 1, 2, and 3. Piper Salizer has done it. She has managed to get redemption after last week's loss against Becca Blore. As Piper Salizer celebrates her victory here tonight over Becca Blore, do not go anywhere, because now we have our main event, the one we've been waiting for all night. Angelina Renee taking on Maya Lynx. This is for all the marbles. Who's going to take home the victory? It is finally time for our main event of the evening. We have Angelina Renee making her entrance here first tonight. Angelina Renee believes herself to be at the top of the totem pole, but Maya Lynx, her opponent here tonight, has different ideas of who's at the top of the totem pole, and it would be herself. This match here is to pretty much let them go at it and see who might have a better claim at being the face of the FLW women's division. Both women are insanely talented. Both women are insanely beautiful. Both women are insanely No, give me a second here. I can think of another word. Both women are insanely tough, and both women are insanely stubborn. Neither one of them will go down without a fight. The question is, who's going to be the one who takes the final pin? No matter what, these two women, whoever comes out on top, the loser, well, we're not going to hear the end of it for quite a while. As Angelina makes her entrance in the ring right here, one of our more titillating roster members here in FLW, who has an impressive record here in FLW. And now making her entrance, she calls herself the ratings mover, and we cannot deny that. She has brought FLW some of its best ratings, by far. That's one reason why she believes herself to be the face of the women's division here in FLW. Hell, she thinks herself the face of the entire roster of FLW. So we are going to have to wait and see who exactly comes out on top and whose ego may not make it through the night. As you can tell, the fans are making their thoughts known on Maya Lynx here tonight. And Maya showing that she does not care about the fans' opinion. She's here to make money, crack skulls, and go home. It's finally time for our main event. Let's go. And Angelina Renee immediately going for a sleeper hold, trying to end this quickly, but Maya just not having it. Maya is not having any of that. But Angelina right back on the offensive here. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, as this match does get underway, I do want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in here tonight. This has been one of our more stacked cards here in a minute. As I watch this match, as we go through this match, I will run down the card and the results one more time for you guys here tonight who are just now tuning in. Here are the results of the night. In our opening match, we had Dakota Fall taking on Wade Ilson in a titillating opening match, which saw Dakota Fall get the victory over Wade Ilson. In our second match, we had Dakota Willer taking on Max Drayton in our first intergender bout of the night, which saw Dakota Willer proving how dangerous she is in picking up the victory over Max Drayton as these two go back and forth. In our third match of the evening, we had Kyle Young taking on Bubba Perkins in a rematch from a few shows ago as Maya Lynx gets the better of Angelina Renee in that trade-off, where Big Bubba Perkins was able to even the score with Kyle Young in his victory over Kyle Young here tonight, making it 1-1. In our fourth match, we had another intergender bout, which saw John Baker II taking on the debuting Jessica Harper. And Harper, showing that she was trained quite well, took the victory over John Baker. In our fifth match, we had Miles King taking on Alan Wagner, where Alan Wagner, coming off of a huge victory last week over Wade Ilson and the ropes. She was on the ropes. Maya Lynx almost stole that match. But as I was saying, Alan Wagner, coming off of a huge victory last week over Wade Ilson, kept his momentum rolling and defeated Miles King via pinfall. In our sixth match, we had our third and final intergender match, which saw Mad Dog Salmons take on the veteran Brie George, and Mad Dog was able to take away the win and leave Brie George in the dust. In our co-main event, we saw Becca Blore take on Piper Salizer in a titillating co-main event, which saw Piper get some retribution for the controversial win that Becca had last week and take the victory from Becca Blore. And now we return to this main event where Maya Lynx is giving her all against Angelina Renee, now being on the dominant end as she just rakes the eyes of Angelina Renee, playing dirty to get to the top. When you have a size and power difference between two women like this, you need to take every advantage you can get, and Maya Lynx is certainly taking advantage of everything. And Angelina Renee doing all these moves, and I have to point out that she is doing all of this in heels. And Maya Kasai one. Angelina Renee is doing all of this in heels. It's not practical for wrestling, it's not practical for fighting, but she is making it work, and she's making it work for her. Not to mention, heels hurt like hell. So, and Angelina went for a knee strike of her own. And an axe kick, scissors kick from Maya Lynx. 1, 2, and Angelina Renee kicks out at 2. And Maya Lynx going for something else. And a huge slam. But Angelina kicks out at 1. You can hear the fans making their thoughts known with the "This is Wrestling" chant, and Maya Lynx just dropping Angelina on her back on the apron. The apron being the hardest part of the ring. And Maya just getting some breathing space and went for a dive, but no one was home. Now Angelina Renee trying to fight back into it, but Maya Lynx has other plans. And Maya Lynx flying, but nobody home. And now Angelina Renee with a huge spine buster to Maya Lynx. And I've just gotten word, ladies and gentlemen, that over the next couple of weeks, a tournament will begin to decide the inaugural FLW World Champion. As you heard earlier tonight, Lucky Carnage, the War Machine, is on a warpath to capture that title. So management has decided that he is going to be the first entrant announced in this tournament. Angelina Renee finally finding some footing in this match against Maya Lynx. And Maya Lynx in trouble now. 1, and Angelina Renee didn't get all of it, not yet. And Angelina Renee busting open Maya Lynx, and with a huge shooting star press from the top rope. 1, 2, and kick out at 2. And Maya trying to fight back into it. Angelina Renee in trouble now. And Maya Lynx fighting her way back into this. And Angelina reversing right back. And throwing it back, and with a moonsault as well. And Maya Lynx taking the match back into her favor. Maya Lynx just taking a breather in the ring here. Calling Angelina to her feet, and Angelina moving out of the way. She had that scouted. Maya slamming her against the ring apron. And Angelina fighting her way back into the match. We know that both of these women will not give up without a fight, and they are showing that right now. We are about 10 minutes deep into this match. You've got to wonder, something's got to give with that beautiful moonsault that Angelina Renee just pulled off. Angelina Renee probably looking to end it right here. Amazing agility being displayed by Angelina Renee right there. And a brutal spin heel kick. And that had to hurt even more because of the heels that Angelina Renee is wearing. And Angelina moving out of the way of Maya Lynx. Looks like she's finally finding life. Angelina, she wants this victory. She wants to prove that she's the face of the women's division here in the FLW. But Maya Lynx, she wants to prove Angelina wrong and herself right, that she is the face of the FLW women's division after that huge Alabama slam. 1, 2, and Angelina kicks out at 2. And Maya Lynx pulling her up to her feet. And big maneuver there. 1, 2, and Angelina kicks out even after all that. You can hear the crowd chanting one more time. Are they going to get it one more time, or is Angelina going to put a stop to that? And a back body drop. Straight jacket, back body drop. And Maya just wrenching the leg harshly right there. And Angelina just dumping Maya out of the ring and going out herself as well. These two women are giving it their all. They have got to be exhausted at this point. What's Angelina looking for? Once again showing off that incredible agility. You have to give credit where credit's due. Angelina seems to be the entire package. She's got the look, she's got the brawn, and she's got the agility to go with it. She's one of the women who can build her own hype and back it up as well. But will it turn out in her favor here tonight? One, 2, and Angelina kicks out at 2. Maya Lynx has got to be getting frustrated at this point, trying to figure out what it'll take to put her down. But Angelina is damn determined to not stay down with that spinning double knee facebreaker. 1, 2, and Maya kicks out once again. Angelina not happy about that. And the crowd chanting, "We're not worthy." This is an excellent main event here this evening. Once again, I want to thank you all for joining us here today. Who do you have winning this match? For me right now, it is too hard to tell. And we've got blood drawn from Angelina Renee now. Angelina Renee and both Maya Lynx, they're both bleeding as of right now. And Angelina Renee shoving Maya Lynx back, and a huge springboard reverse DDT. Going for the cover, 1, 2, and a kick out at 2. And Angelina Renee showboating and laying it on thick onto Maya with that straight jacket DDT. Something's got to give here soon. And choking Maya in the corner against the top turnbuckle. And Maya trying to fight her way back into it. Angelina not having any of that. And hitting a huge flying roundhouse kick. Hitting a double moon stomp. 1, 2, and Maya Lynx kicking out. Something's got to give. Angelina Renee is probably not happy about that. And Angelina Renee going for the cover. 1, 2, and 3. Angelina Renee takes home the victory. She proves to herself that she is the rightful face of the FLW Women's Division. And she goes through Maya Lynx to do so. As Angelina Renee celebrates her victory here tonight, I want to say thank you to everyone who tuned in. We will see you next time on FLW Fully Loaded Wrestling. Congratulations, Angelina Renee.